it's Tina and I am back, and today we are colorful. It's not like bold in your face. Is that just me? It's not like an intense in your face look, but it's really impactful because it is colorful. And I've been wanting to do a sunshine yellow look all summer, to be honest, but I haven't gotten around to it until now. And then the ColourPop Honey palette came out and I'm like, oh my god, I love that. I love this color scheme. I love the yellow, but it's a 9-pan palette with a glitter in it and I don't want it, and it's just a yellow palette, and every look that I've seen people create from it is kind of the same look, and I'm like, do I really need to buy a yellow palette just to accomplish that look? No, because I have yellows in my collection. And when do I use yellow enough in an eyeshadow look for me to buy a full monochromatic palette of just yellows from ColourPop, even though it's like a decent price point? But I'm not gonna support this fast fashion makeup thing that they have going on, because I don't appreciate that they release a new palette every freaking week. The Amazon is literally on fire right now, and the climate change that is about to happen, the impact that is about to have on our environment, not to mention the species that are in the Amazon and the indigenous people. Listen, we do not need to be adding to the pollution in our environment with all these palettes that are coming out, and I am sick and tired of it. Okay, thanks for coming to my TED Talk, but however, we're gonna focus on this colorful look. And again, inspired by the Honey palette, I was just so inspired to try out a bold, colorful yellow look. And since summer is departing, it is fall is upon us. I don't like fall. Oh my god. Okay, I don't mind fall because I like the changing of the leaves and stuff, but I don't like cold weather, and it is happening. It is literally happening. It is like 60 degrees at night now. And I don't know what to do. I don't like it. I want to wear skirts and dresses and shorts. I don't want to be out here having to put a jacket on. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at all. So I'm sad. This is kind of my farewell look to summer. Can you imagine? Can you believe it? Anyway, I am also wearing my necklace set with my little croissant on it. And this is a layered necklace set. This is from Ana Luisa Jewelry. I recently did a video showcasing some of the pieces that they sent to me, and I've been wearing this one a lot, and I layered it up with the other necklace that comes with it. I think they're really high quality products. I really have been enjoying them. So if you want to check them out, I'm gonna leave the link below, and I also have a discount code, which is TINA10. It gives you $10 off your purchase. Again, link them down below. But let's go ahead and get into this look because I really love it. I'm also incorporating like a new foundation. This is the Urban Decay foundation, which, if I do say so myself, this is really pretty. So, okay, this introduction is really long. I apologize, but let's go ahead and jump right into the look. Alright guys, so as usual, we're starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. And I am gonna go in with my moisturizer. Today I'm using the Sunday Riley Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream. It looks like it's actually a water cream. I like that description. This I found is actually really nice for my oily skin because it moisturizes, but it's not a heavy cream. So anything with like gel in it or water in it is what I really like to use for my skin because I don't need anything heavy, and this absorbs really well. Good things, good things. And I'm trying to use up my moisturizer. So I've been rotating through my moisturizers, and this one is one that I was like, oh, why haven't I been using this one all this time? But yeah. So we're just gonna let that sit on our skin while we go in and fill in our brows. So to start out, I'm gonna use my Sephora Beauty Amplifier eyeshadow primer. This is what I always do for my brows because we need these bad boys to stay in place. And this also helps with the actual product application. So just like an eyeshadow primer where it helps eyeshadow to stick down to your eyelids and it kind of intensifies the pigmentation, this does the same thing for like your brow products. So if you use a pomade, if you use a brow pencil, in addition to making it more long lasting. I don't always fill in my brows on camera because I feel like you've seen it a million times by now and it's just not really interesting. But then I include it here or there and people are really happy when I include it. So I'm using my brow pencil from Benefit. This is the Precisely My Brow. The shade I use is 405. And all I do is outline the top and bottom of my brows and fill in the arch. because I have pretty full brows. So I literally just create the shape that I want and extend the tail, because the tail of my brows, they get really unruly and like wiry out there. So I tend to tweeze that part away because it's like sporadic hairs here or there, and I'm like, I'd rather just pencil those in. I know a lot of people fill in their brows off camera because they're like, it takes so long to fill in, like it's the longest part of their routine. And I'm like, really? God damn, I could not imagine having to sit here and fill in my brows for like an eternity. I guess because they're doing like, either they're doing soap brows or they're doing the little fine micro blading look where they feather through their brows. Girl, I just put the product in and then brush it through with the spoolie side of the pencil because I ain't got it. And I get it because you're trying to go for the really natural look, but the hair in my brows are really thick, so they're defined already, so I don't have to do a lot for it to look hair-like, which is why I probably don't spend an eternity filling in my brows, because that's enough for me right there. Alright, let's now go in with a bit of eyeshadow primer. This is the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. I always put down a primer like this one. The Smashbox 24-hour primer is also one that I like to use, or the MAC one, which Smashbox and MAC, they're actually pretty much the same formulation because they're owned by the same overall umbrella company, so the formulations are the same, even the packaging's very similar. They're just different price points, so go for the cheaper one because it's pretty much the same damn formulation. That's a little insider knowledge that most people are peripherally aware of because Estee Lauder owns both companies, so it's like, by default, you should know that they're using the same formulations for a lot of the products, like crossover products, and they're just selling them at different price points. Like I think the Smashbox one is more expensive, but it's the same thing. Here are the two of them together, and they're both claiming 24 hours. So it's like, this one is 24-hour photo finish shadow primer because Smashbox does that photo finish thing, and then MAC is the Prep and Prime 24-hour extend eye base. Hello, same difference, same thing. They both have 12 milliliters, the 0.4 fluid ounce. Just saying, just saying. Now what I used under my brows is the Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is in the shade Deep Warm. This is a really nice concealer for this kind of situation. I've even used it on my skin. It's a drier formulation, so it's not really watery or liquidy or anything. It's just a nice, almost cream to powder finish. But it does work under the brows really well because it is full coverage and it's a drier formula, so it's not gonna be too liquidy on my eyelids. And it sets down to that, again, dry finish. So I really enjoy this concealer, and it does really work well on the skin too. So it's just a nice concealer, and it's from the Ulta brand. Now I've been exploring the Ulta brand a little bit more closely since I started using their juice infused lip oils, which was just by happenstance that I tried it out. Like I was like, all right, I want a lip oil, and they were having a sale. I think it was like 40% off all their products, and they always have those sales. They have them like buy one get one or 40% off, so they have really good sales. And I just happened upon that juice infused lip oil, and I was like, it's not too bad, the price point, so I'm gonna try it out, and I fell in love with it. So I've been trying out different things, and that concealer is another one that I fell in love with. Now this is not the eyeshadow primer, this is the eyeshadow base, because I'm going in with yellows. As you saw from the introduction, I'm going in with like a bright in your face yellow. So you want to use a base that's bordering on white. A lot of people remember back in the day we loved the NYX jumbo eye pencil in milk. That was like a creamy white pencil that creased like crazy on me, so I stayed away from that. But since then, eyeshadow bases and primers have evolved. You know, we have the P. Louise base, we have the Kat Von D, like we have all these bases, right? So Makeup Revolution came out with these. These are called the Cut Crease Canvas Full Coverage Eyeshadow Base. This is in the shade Create. So they have different shades. This one is just the really light beige one. I think they even have a white. Now Makeup Revolution has an eyeshadow primer, which is the Prime and Lock Longwear Eyeshadow Primer. This is okay. It creases a little bit on me, so I don't really love this. And these cut crease canvases, they come in different shades. Like I said, I have, I believe, yeah, 2 of them. So I have etch and create. So you can see they're different like skin tone shades. So this one would be for darker skin, this is for lighter skin. So I'm gonna use the one for lighter skin because like I said, you wanna go for more of almost a white base, but because I have dark skin, I have to go in with something that is more of a creamy beige so it doesn't look as stark. You can definitely still use white, but I find it easier to use a creamy beige. That way I can blend it more easily with my skin tone. So you see, this looks crazy under here. Okay, that is not what I wanted. But because my skin is darker, I can apply this beige color, blend it out. It's still gonna give me the intensity, and we're gonna clean up under my eyes because I don't like how that looks crazy. Okay, that got in my lashes and everything, but don't mind that. So this is gonna give us a really sticky base for eyeshadows, which is what we need right now, and it's also gonna give like that lighter base so the eyeshadows really pop. Now for the yellow, I went through my collection because there is no way, like I said, I am not trying to buy the Honey palette from ColourPop because I have yellows in my collection, and how often am I really using yellows that I need to go and get a palette just for that? So I was looking through my collection, I'm like, let's see what we have. So I have like a couple of pigments. This one is from Makeup Forever. It's number 22. It's more of a mustardy yellow, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. And then we have this bright sunshine yellow, which is 237 from Inglot. Do you see how bold that is? Now we also have like chrome yellow from MAC. Another interesting yellow shade, but this is like a more pastel yellow compared to the other one. I want to do the Makeup Forever one, but go through your collection. If you have a yellow eyeshadow, use that yellow eyeshadow. We do not need to add to our collection just to have a look. This is just giving you a technique. So I'm going to use 22 because I feel like 22 is where it's at. Now I'm gonna use some new brushes today. I recently got these from Refer. You've seen them making the rounds here on YouTube, primarily with like smaller influencers. Like Mel Thompson uses them a lot. Kinky Sweat uses them a lot. You see them making their rounds, and they had reached out to me because they actually heard about me from Jaleesa. She's on Instagram. I will link her down below. She is a New York-based makeup artist. I love her. I met her at the makeup show years and years ago, and every time I went to the makeup show, I would see her. So I'm just applying this over the eyeshadow base. That's the pigment that we have from Makeup Forever. And this is the number 2 eyeshadow brush from Refer. So she had recommended that they reach out to me, and they had reached out to me about, you know, meeting up, having lunch, but I was traveling a lot for work, so I never actually got to meet the owner. And in most of the videos that you see these brushes used, people mention that they met up with the owner or one of the founders of the company. And that is because they've been trying to meet up with influencers and get feedback. So I'm gonna go in with the number 1 brush. This is also from Refer. It's the blending brush. So they've been meeting up with the different creators here on YouTube, and what I like is that they're meeting up with smaller influencers. And of course, part of it has to do with they don't have to pay them, because obviously if they met up with somebody like Nikki Tutorials, Desi Perkins, or Katie, they would have to pay them for consultation. So it's easier to work with smaller influencers because of course now you don't have to pay them. So I'm just buffing around this color. So you see how that color really picks up beautifully? That's what I'm going for, and I'm just trying to blend the edges so there are no harsh lines right there, using back and forth like windshield wiper motion. So recently I reached out to them and said, you know, I've been hearing nothing but great things about the brushes from people that I know and trust. They even worked with Elisa from Kinky Sweat. She had mentioned in one of her videos that she went to Canada. I believe it was Toronto. I may be wrong with the actual location, but they're located in Canada, and she said she went and filmed some videos with them using the brushes. So I'm really excited for her too. But that's what I like to see, these brands working with smaller influencers. But at the same time, I'm a little bit skeptical because I'm like, are they being adequately compensated for their time? Because yeah, you can pay for lunch or you can pay for dinner and you can pay for my trip and my hotel, but am I getting compensated, you know? Because it's only fair for working with a brand, showcasing products, reviewing their products, that you do get adequately compensated. Because at the end of the day, it is a value that you're offering to these companies. So that's the one thing that I'm like, oh, are you paying these people? Because you should, you really should. But this is under a Kickstarter campaign. Another thing that I'm a little bit skeptical about, if I'm honest. So I kind of should have met up with them and tried to discuss that, because I don't know how Kickstarters necessarily work and what happens if they just take your money and run. And that scares the hell out of me, because I know that kind of happened with the, what was that brand that was trying to do a launch with Lisa Frank? Remember that? And it was a Kickstarter and I don't think they went through with it. Okay, now I'm going in with Goldenrod Eyeshadow from MAC. This is a satin, but it's like this, a literal goldenrod eyeshadow. I don't want to use orange or brown, but I want to add some depth to the crease. So I'm just gonna buff that in the crease area to blend out the edges and just make it a little bit more seamless. So I don't know how that works. So like with the Kickstarter for Lisa Frank, right? Because everybody was like, oh my god, I would love to see this happen. Because back in the day with Lisa Frank, when I was going to high school, like it was a thing. You had the Trapper Keeper, you had the dividers. They were pretty and bold and colorful, and I'm surprised no other brand has like tried to get the rights to do a collaboration or a collection with them. The brush is really soft and really nice. I like the brush so far. It reminds me of old school MAC. It's blending really nicely. It's not scratchy at all. But yeah, like with the Lisa Frank release, I think that like tanked, and did people get their money back? Because I don't know, and that's why I'm kind of skeptical. Like, did people get their money back? This yellow on the lid, I really need to build it up. I feel like it's not really popping as much as I want it to. So I'm gonna go in with a Sonia G. This is the Worker 2 brush and really pack that on. So the Refer brush packed on the color, but it's smaller, and I feel like the Sonia G is fluffier, bigger. It just has more packing power. So I feel like if you're doing something like this where you need full-on intensity, a brush like this is better. But that brush from Refer, you can probably use it in like a more concentrated eye look. For this, I needed a bigger brush. So that's one thing that I can say out the gate. See, it gave me more color payoff. It's just given me more color, but the blending brush is definitely working. And I like the size of it, because if you have smaller eyes, then this is a nice brush to use. For me, I will use brushes like the Sonia G brushes, and the Sonia G brushes I've been loving, but you see the size difference and just the fluffiness of it all. This one you can use as a shader and as a blender. This one is definitely all about blending. So the Refer brushes, I think, are just a specific kind of brush for a specific look, and they will work well for smaller eyes. They are really soft, and when they reached out to me on Instagram, they mentioned also that they used my Hakuhodo brush as a reference for when they were creating the styles of their brushes that they were using, which I thought was very interesting. That's always nice that people can use your videos for reference. So they used that video, they said, to help create like the shapes and styles. And the Hakuhodo brushes are some of my favorite brushes of all time. They're a Japanese based brand, and Japanese brushes are just great because they have artisans designing them and putting them together. This is Heart Shaped Cookie from Sugarpill, by the way, and I'm using it on a MAC 252 under my brows as a highlight. But Japanese brushes are just some of the best brushes, which is why the Sonia G brushes are pretty nice. Now for the Refer brushes, the price point is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going back in with the Goldenrod Eyeshadow, and this is the Detail Pro brush from Sonia G. This is the large blending brush again. This just does the work that I need it to do. The Refer brushes are nice, but they're not doing what I need them to do. So we're just not gonna use those right now, but I will use them in future videos and like use them and see how I feel before I give you like a definite feedback. But with the Kickstarter campaign, like I was saying, they have like a starter price. So if you invest in the Kickstarter, which is you pay up front and you invest in the creation of the products, and then you get the brushes, like you get the actual product. So I'm using MAC Blanc Type on a 767 round blender brush. This is from Delium Tools. It's the Golden Triangle series. So you pay like a introduction rate. So it's the price that they're given to people who, it's like a pre-sale. So you're ordering upfront, you're pledging this money towards the Kickstarter campaign, and it's months in advance, and you get the brushes at a discount rate, and you get them before anybody else. So I'm using the Blanc Type to brighten up the inner corner. And then once they go live, the price is gonna change. So the whole lure of the Kickstarter is that you're gonna get these brushes at that starter price. But then I'm like, if the Kickstarter doesn't go through and if they don't come through, like, you're really going out on a limb with a brand that you know nothing about. Okay, I think the eyes look pretty. This is what I want. So I'm gonna zoom out and do some face work. So pretty much you're going out on a limb and you're investing in a brand that you know nothing about. They're a Kickstarter after all. So for the face, I want to use a new foundation that I picked up. This is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation from Urban Decay. It touts up to 24-hour wear. Now I got a sample because it's what we do. So I'm going to use a sample, but I did get the foundation. So on the box it says flexible, breathable, real skin, matte finish, medium buildable coverage, does not transfer, minimizes the appearance of pores, stay true color, waterproof, vegan formula, does not contain animal derived ingredients or byproducts. That's a lot. So it has a lot of claims here, right? Transfer free. You think that's true? I mean, we're gonna see. I mean, I'm not really gonna see because I'm not doing a foundation test here, but this is the bottle. I love the bottle. It's a plastic, it's not glass. It has a pump. I like the rose gold finish of the cap and the pump itself. It's sleek. I like it a lot, and you do get the full 1 ounce in here, or 30 milliliters. The shade I've been using is 70NN, so it's neutral. So like I said, I have the sample, so that's what we're gonna use. So I'm just gonna get, and the sample, I got a lot of product. Like, you don't even need a lot. It just, oh my god, it does have a nice medium coverage, which is what I prefer. And versus the Pat McGrath foundation, which is the other sample that I got, I prefer this one, but I like the Pat McGrath one, to be honest. It's cute, but not for the price point. It doesn't give me the same thing that I get from the Urban Decay one. And I really like the finish of the Urban Decay. I'm using my Marc Jacobs The Face 3 brush, but it's giving me coverage, right? But it's not masking my skin where I feel like, oh my god, what the hell? But it's evening out my hyperpigmentation. It's covering the spots where I have, like, I don't know where I got light spots from, but like I have light spots right here by my cheek. I have it right at the side right here on the tops of my cheeks. And I feel like I need to even that out when I'm going for like a full coverage look. I don't feel like I have to do that all the time or every day. So if I'm just going out to work or something quick or easy, I'll use the Pat McGrath sample that I have, but I wouldn't spend the money for that kind of coverage in a foundation. If it was along the same price point as the Urban Decay one, then fine. But the fact that it's $68, I need it to be a little bit more mind-blowing. So that's why I don't really love the Pat McGrath one. But the Urban Decay one, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels very lightweight. It's a nice thin liquid, but it's not like a watery liquid. And it looks really beautiful on my skin. Like, here's the coverage, right? It's simple, it's light, it's not heavy. I don't feel cakey. I don't even feel it on my skin, which is another thing I love about lightweight foundations. I don't feel it. And with heavier foundations, you definitely feel it. The Pat McGrath one, you don't feel it. The Urban Decay one, you don't feel it either. And I prefer the Urban Decay one, and I think the coverage is really beautiful. Now I'm gonna go in with the concealer as well, which I picked up, and this one says buildable full coverage, flexible, breathable, does not transfer, real skin, matte finish, corrects the look of imperfections, it's waterproof, vegan formula, does not contain animal derived ingredients or byproducts. Now the shade I'm using is 70NY, which says it's dark neutral yellow. So I matched up the number of the foundation with the concealer, and I don't go for brightening concealer. So you're gonna see this looks almost like an exact match to my skin, because it kind of is. And that's how I like my concealers. I'll put a little bit around my mouth, just where I have that hyperpigmentation. This has a doe foot applicator. It's not a huge doe foot, and it has a curved like ballet slipper. Do you see it? It looks like a little ballet foot. I'm not tripping, right? That's cute, but it has that curve to it, and it doesn't like stay liquidy. It's more of a cream, but it's not a heavy cream, so I don't have to wait for it to set down, kind of like the Tarte one. But if you do want more coverage from a concealer or even a foundation, you let it sit on your skin a little bit, so some of the liquid in the formulation will kind of evaporate, so it will dry down just a little bit. It will start almost setting, and then you blend it out. That will give you a lot more coverage. But the coverage of this, it's beautiful. It doesn't, again, look heavy or cakey. Oh my god. So some concealers can look heavy. This one just doesn't. It looks really nice. I realize what I've been doing lately is not putting foundation here, because I don't really put foundation on my nose anymore because of my nose ring. It gets covered up, so I don't really get to go in as much, which is fine. And my nose has been stripping like crazy, like sunburn stripping, and I'm like, what is going on? Since I got this nose ring is about to be the bane of my existence. But my skin on my nose, it's stripping, but it's not dry because my nose is always oily. That's like where I produce all the oils, okay? But it flakes. And it's not just flaking around the nose ring, which would be like, all right, that's the nose ring's fault. No, it's flaking everywhere, and I don't understand it. I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. So I've been like hydrating the hell out of my nose area at night, trying to like go around that and try to fix the problem. But yeah, so I've been skipping the foundation like on my nose, but then I skip it on the upper lip, which just, it ends up looking weird. So you can see the difference. So I just don't even, okay? Just understand I'm struggling. I am struggling right now. Okay, so the concealer is in place, and I think it looks pretty nice. It's not like blanking out my entire face, which I don't want anyway. And it blends into my skin without looking, yeah, it doesn't look like it's separate from the foundation. Because if you have difference in coverage, like your foundation and your concealer, different coverages, like full versus medium or light and then full coverage, it can look different on your face. Now it looks pretty good. It's not creasing or anything, but I do set my under eyes because I have lines under there. So if I put concealer down, I do go in with powder. I'm using my La Prairie translucent powder. It's funny because I still haven't gone through the little travel size yet, but it's like tucked in a drawer right now, and I'm not moving the camera to get into the drawer, so I'm just gonna use the Big Mama one. And yeah, but just know, like, the travel size is still on and popping. Like, it's still in full, look at this, my mirror, but it's still in full effect. This has got to be my favorite powder, hands down. Translucent powder. It's such a beautiful powder, and I just can't get enough. Now, since we used Urban Decay, I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay Ultra Definition Powder Foundation. Is this discontinued yet? I have to check. But I have backups upon backups of this, and I'm just gonna powder the foundation. Not too much, just a little bit. I love this powder. It's the shade Medium Dark Golden. I think they're coming out with a new powder because they've come out with the foundation and the concealer, right? So I feel like there is a new powder on the horizon, and if and when that happens, I will be getting it because I am interested. All right, I'm looking at the eyeshadow from a distance. From a distance. Do you remember that song? That is a 90s song for sure. I'm gonna go back in with the blending brush from Sonia G and the Goldenrod eyeshadow and just blend around the edges of the eyeshadow a little bit more, because it looks, I know it looks a lot orange, and that's not necessarily what I'm going for. Like, I don't want an orange look, but I see it happening and I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm just blending a little bit because the orange looks more pronounced on this side than on this side. So let's blend and try to even that out. And that's the good thing about having a mirror that is further away from you, which is what I have my setup. I have a mirror, a larger mirror in front of me, and then I have my smaller mirror for detailed work. But this way I get to see the eyeshadow look both up close and then from afar. So I see what other people are seeing. And then I'll go in with the yellow from Makeup Forever, that pigment, and build it up. But also like pull a little bit of it into the crease with the Worker brush, the Worker 2 from Sonia G again, just to build up the yellow but also pull a more yellow look into the crease versus orange. So I'm trying to blend the colors together so that we get a more sunshine yellow look versus orangey look, right? That looks a little better. All right, so I went in and did the yellow thing and stuff, but I cheated a little bit because I am gonna use my Kaleidos palette on my lower lash line. But I grabbed this one is the Futurism 4 VR Neon, and this one has, ew, those colors, can you even? So it has a yellow in it, and I popped the yellow over my eyelids, and that gave me a little bit more of a bright sunshiny yellow. So if this looks a little brighter, it's because I grabbed the yellow from the Kaleidos palette, and you know what? I have no regrets, and you can't fight me. So here we are. So like I said, I'm going in with this Kaleidos palette. This is the Electro Turquoise. This is a limited edition palette along with this one. They sent these to me, and they have this new formulation in here for the shimmery shade, which is a combination of glitter and like shimmer. So I'm gonna use that, but I'm gonna start out with the Digiteal color, which is this one here. That's just a matte deep teal, and then I'm gonna go over it with this. That one I think is Tron. So that's what we're gonna do on the lower lash line. So let's get in a little bit. So I'm gonna use another one of the Refer brushes. This is number 3. This is a pencil brush. I wanna see if this is soft because pencil brushes are just notorious for being scratchy. Okay, this is really soft. Thank you very much. And people use pencil brushes for detailed work a lot, and some of it is on the lower lash line. And if you have a scratchy brush, it's just gonna hurt, and you don't want that. So Morphe has like pencil brushes that scratch the hell out of your lower lash line. Even the MAC, I think it was the 219. Oh my god, that was scratchy as well. But this is really soft. I can't even, I mean, I know I'm using it and I feel it, but it's really soft. So this is one brush that I would definitely say if you're looking for a pencil brush, if you do this kind of work and you find yourself using a pencil brush, this may be one to look into. People also use pencil brushes for the inner tear duct if you want to get really precise. I don't do that, but obviously you can use this brush for that, but it works really well on the lower lash line. Like I said, I'm gonna go in with the shimmery one now. So we applied the Digiteal on the lower lash line, and then I'm gonna go, ooh, can you? I'm just gonna try to put it right on the center because I feel like that gives a really beautiful look. Hey, okay. Ooh, that is pretty. Ooh, yes. I kind of want to dampen it to see if I can do the most with it. But that is pretty on its own. That's with a dry brush. Let's dampen it. So I'm using a little bit of my Smashbox primer water. Ooh. And picking that Tron up again. And oh, yes. Just on the center of the lower lash line. That is really pretty, right? Am I? No, I am not tripping. Y'all see this? You'll see what's happening. That is really nice on the center of the lower lash line. So it pops without being like too crazy. I want to actually, you know what? Let me try to clean this brush off. Because, okay, that looks a little, I'm going to blend out. Don't worry. I'm going to now pick up the shimmery white gold one. That one is called Shockwave. I'm just going to pick that up on the brush again and pop that on the very inner corner. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, yes, yes, that is pretty. Now, a little bit of the teal is, let me try to clean that brush off some more. A little bit of the teal came off, but, you know, what else? Pop that on and kind of flick it, circular motions, buffing motions, and then flick it inwards. That is pretty, yes. Now I'm gonna go back in with the Digiteal on a MAC 242 and blend out the edge. So the pencil brush is not gonna give you the capability of really blending out the edge. You need like a blending brush or a flat shader brush such as this to really buff out the edges. So a pencil brush is just for placement, but you would still need to blend out the edges like that, right? Now for the okay, you know what? Hold up just a little bit. Now I'm gonna use the blending brush from Refer and go around the edge of the lower lash line just to blend that out. You want to buff that out. The pencil brush is just gonna be used for placement, but you're still gonna need something to blend out and blur out the lower lash line so it doesn't look as harsh, like there are no harsh lines. I want to blend out the edge of that shimmer as well so it doesn't look like, oh my god, you know? So okay, so that looks a little bit more tame. Now for my waterline, I'm gonna go in with this Sephora Colorful Shadow Liner Pencil. This is in the shade Staying Alive number 36. It's a teal shade. I love these pencils. I don't know if they're discontinued or if they still have them. I haven't checked, but these are some of my favorite liners. They stay in place, they're waterproof, almost waterproof to a fault, because you will have this color stuck on that lash line for a minute because they really stay in place. But that's a good thing because I need this to stay in place. Now let's go ahead and add some mascara so our lashes don't get lost in that color. So this is my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. So you see the difference with the lashes and without the lashes? Yeah. And then let's go on the upper lashes as well. This is my Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced, as per usual. Do I want to do lashes with this? I feel like I should, but then again I feel like I don't want to. Let's see how my lashes look, if I can build them up. If they look like they need a little bit more help. They don't though, right? They don't look like they need any help even though they're against this yellow. Like, I don't want the yellow to be overshadowed by lashes. Oh yeah, I'm not putting on lashes. My lashes look great right now. If I do say so myself. But no, for real. Like, I feel like the yellow is allowing my lashes to stand out because it's like really light, so it's bringing my lashes forward without me having to put false eyelashes on. So we ain't gonna put no lashes on. Okay, I saved myself a step, which is great. I love that for me, so let's just do that here. I'm just gonna layer this shit up. Alright, I'm gonna layer it up. I'll be back. Alright, for the cheeks, I don't feel like I want to go too crazy because I want the eyes to be the focus. So I'm gonna go in with this Sephora Matte Perfection Blush Duo. Almost choked on that just now. I don't know why. This is number 5 Poppy. I'm gonna use this side. So it's a nude blush with I don't know, what would you call it? Like a rosy undertone, but then on my cheeks it's coming off like it has more of that warm peachy undertone, which I'm okay with. This is a Smashbox blush brush. What's it called? The Precise Blush. Help me Jesus, it's the Precise Blush Brush. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. This is my favorite blush brush. I think Smashbox hit it out the park with this brush because it is not the softest brush. It is synthetic fibers, and it has this shape where the bristles are not even, they're kind of staggered, right? And it picks up products so well and then blends it out. Now, it's not for use on the eyes, so I don't need it to be like, oh, scroll hair soft. It doesn't need to be the softest thing. It's still soft. It's not scratchy at all, but it has this kind of a little bit of a coarseness to it to pick up product and then buff it out on the skin. And because it's on your cheeks, again, you are not gonna feel like, oh my god, it's not so soft and delicate, because I find that like the Suku brushes or some of the Hakuhodo brushes, they're just too soft. They're not giving me what I need, okay? And this gives me what I need. Smashbox, I think you need to like come back out with these brushes, drop the prices a little bit, drop the prices, but like relaunch them, because I think they are really good brushes and you missed the mark. I don't know why, like the marketing wasn't that great or something, but it wasn't. Hello? These planes have no behavior, no manners, but you know what? We're gonna move on. For the lips, I want to keep it nude. Okay, this inner tear duct, I am really loving it. Because it's not like, you see, like I come here and you're like, oh, there it goes. And then I go here and you're like, oh, it's fine. That's pretty. Let's just take a moment. I'm taking a moment. That's pretty. Anyway, for the lips, we're using First Sin from Urban Decay. This is one of their cream lipsticks, and it's just, it's a light lipstick. Woo! Here's what I'm doing though. This doesn't matter because here's what I'm gonna do. It's a light peachy nude. So I'm just giving myself a little color. It's not really opaque, but then I'm gonna go in with this lip gloss from Persona. It's the Honey Gloss. A lot of people were telling me to try out these lip glosses, and I already had a set. I just never really used them, but there was a trio set that they had with 3 of the lip glosses that I really wanted, like the shades that I would have gravitated towards. Speak while applying lip product. But I already had it, so I pulled it out to test it. You know when you have things in your collection, but then somebody's like, hey, what about, and you're like, oh, I forgot I had that. So here we are. The gloss is okay. It's not like, oh my god, this is the best gloss ever. There's only one gloss that I've tried so far that I was like, this gloss is on point, and that's the Pat McGrath gloss. This is just okay. It's an okay gloss. It's not a bad gloss. And if you can get it on sale, because I know they have sales every now and then, and the trio set is actually pretty decently priced. So if you can get it, it's cool, but it's not like, oh my god, it's not sticky. Feels comfortable, but it's a gloss. Again, the only gloss that has actually like blown my mind just a little bit too, because it's a gloss, you know, is the Pat McGrath gloss. That's the one that I would say was like, all right, that's cute. Do I need bronzer? Do I need these things in my life? I am going to go ahead and apply some bronzer, because what else are you supposed to do when you have a sunshine look on your face but apply bronzer? So we're using the Cover FX monochromatic bronzer duo matte and shimmer. The shade I'm using is Sun Tan Bronze, and again I'm using a large Morphe brush, the E2. This is actually a decent Morphe brush. Don't say I sent you to buy Morphe. I don't have an affiliate code. Use this bronzer. This bronzer is bomb.com. My nose is running. Oh my god. I have realized that my sinuses just don't like eyeshadow anymore. Anything that's close to my tear duct, my waterline, it's like, sweetheart, we don't wear eyeshadow anymore. What are you doing, first of all? And it attacks and my nose starts running. So I don't know what to do other than start using more eyeshadow, and hopefully it will get used to it again, because I am not giving up. I am not giving up eyeshadow. You listen, nose, I refuse. My nose has been attacking me. Have you guys realized this? It's not okay. So this is from Envision Cosmetics. They have since changed to Alori, which is cute. It's Aloe and Ripley. So they're on Instagram. Ripley, I love her. Hey Rip, how's it going? She watches my videos. So hey Rip, what's going on? And the other founder is Alodra. She's also on Instagram. I had called her Alejandra in another video, and somebody was like, Tina, her name is Alodra, really? And I'm like, you are correct. I am wrong. I could have sworn her name was Alejandra, but it's Alodra. And they came up with these sets of brushes. I don't know if they have put the brushes back on their website since they did the rebranding. So they changed from Envision to Alori, which is a combination of their names. And I'm not sure the brushes are back yet. Ripley, let me know if the brushes are back. But they've also done like these synthetic brushes. They remind me somewhat of the Smashbox brushes in the way the bristles are tapered and stacked, like you see that. It's a stacked bristle. It's soft, but not like too soft. And these brushes are really great for blending out highlight, which I love this one for. This is the extra long diffuser. So it's just the diffuser brush, but this one has an extra long handle. And it's like this neon orange, really pretty. But the brush is actually functionally really great. And Alodra, I almost called her Alejandra again. Alodra uses it in her crease, so she has big eyelids. That sounds so terrible, but she has a lot of eyelid space, so she uses this like to blend, and she does like the best blend of life. Like, I got aggressive there, but she does like, oh my god, this seamless blend of eyeshadow. She reminds me of Queen of Blending. If you're an OG YouTube watcher, Queen of Blending, Lauren, oh my god, she is one of my inspirations for creating a YouTube channel. She was one of my inspirations for a lot of looks that I did. She did beautiful, colorful looks, and I loved her. But they have like the eyelid space to use these big brushes. So if you're just creating like a wash of color, these brushes are great for that. And they have like different brushes as well. So once those, I will leave the website linked below. I know they've been focusing mainly on the brush cleansers, which I love. This is the, which one is this? Peach Mango. This was sent to me. Ripley sent me these. And I ordered, I think, which one did I order? There was a champagne one and there was a goat milk one, which I love. I love these for my foundation brushes specifically because it gets out the foundation. They're really good at cleaning your brushes and your sponges. They take a little bit more work than like the Beauty Blender Solid for your sponges. The Beauty Blender one just works better for sponges because that's what it was created for. But I love the smell of these, so I almost do a double cleanse with the Beauty Blender, then go in with this because I love the smell of this. But I use this for like my Marc Jacobs Kabuki brush because it really cleans the bristles. It doesn't dry them out, it conditions them, and then it leaves this scent behind. I adore, and the scent kind of lingers, so when I'm using my brush and it's like freshly washed, I'm like, oh yeah, come on now. It's just, I think they did a really good job. They're an indie brand and I love and support my peoples, and I love these. So if you want to check them out, I know they restock every now and then they have different scents, and the scents are really good, and the cleanser is a really good cleanser, so I feel great actually promoting them. So here's the look. Hair, this gloss is actually, you know what, I almost want to take it back, but this gloss is really nice. But again, the Pat McGrath one is the one that I would say like that blows my mind. But this is the look, and I love it. I love it. I wanted to do this look inspired by the Aha Honey palette for the longest. I wanted to do this sunshine yellow look, and I really love this. And pairing it with the teal on the lower lash line, can we talk? Pairing it with the teal on the lower lash line is just, oh, woo, this is really, this is so pretty. This is like my jam. Doing a matte lid, like you see how it looks airbrushed, don't you love it? And then using a color on the lower lash line. You could use blue or purple. You could pretty much use any color on the lower lash line to offset this, and that's what I love doing, like a neutral eye. This is not a neutral, let's be real. But if you do like a neutral eye with a pop of color on the lower lash line, I think that is, I can't even talk right now. I think that is a great way, enunciate, to incorporate color into a makeup look. And if you're afraid of color, it's like the best way to go. So I think this is really pretty. Let me know what you guys think, because you know, I can't, you know, self-praise is no recommendation. So you guys have to tell me. And yeah, I will go ahead and leave all the products used and mentioned in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If those links take you to Sephora or Ulta, those are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission off your purchase if you do make a purchase through those links. Other links I will provide are just directly to the different websites. A lot of the products I think that I used may be limited edition or discontinued, so that means you don't need these products. You need to go in your collection, shop around, be like, where are my yellows at, because there are a lot of palettes with yellows in them, oranges, teals and stuff, so you don't need these specific colors. I'm just showing you how I would create this look. So dig in your collection. But if you do use my links to purchase any product at all, thank you so much, because it does help me to put right back into the channel. But don't feel obligated to use my links either. It's a great way to support the channel, but feel free to shop the way you shop. No muss, no fuss. I won't be mad at you at all. I will also leave links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, where you should be following me along. We have fun over there. I post memes and stuff that are just general memes. Oh my god, people get so caught up in my memes. Like, they're like, is everything okay, sis? And I'm like, it's just a meme. It's not like a personal thing. Like, I'm not going through something that I need to like share with you guys. It's just laugh. Just have fun. But yeah, follow me along there. I will leave the links below as well. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.